My son came to me last week really frustrated, and he said, "Dad, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life." And you know what I told him? I said, "That's fine, and it's normal. What's not fine is spending $144,000 to find out what you're supposed to do with your life." Now, if you're a student or the parent of one and that number just hit you squarely in the chest, good, because I'm about to share with you the 5 things I told my son, and it really could have been one of the most important conversations we've ever had. Hi, I'm Jason Ward, photographer, entrepreneur, educator, and the author of the book, Find Your Gold Thread. And I'm on a mission to help 1 million people find their true calling, and I hope you're one of them. Here's something that your guidance counselor won't tell you. My generation, we could afford to go to college and take our time and kind of figure it out. It was not uncommon to hear people referred to as a 5th or even 6th year senior. You could change your major, add a year or two, and it wasn't some major catastrophe. But when I went to college, my entire 4-year education was $36,000. Now, that same education is $144,000 because I looked it up. Unlike my generation, yours does not have the luxury of staying an extra year to find yourself and sort of figure it out on the fly. And here's what makes it even more important to get things right now. Because if you change your major and extend your education, it's really going to hold you back. It's going to put off you earning a meaningful income. It's going to crush your momentum, and it's going to delay your life. My generation could absorb the hit. Yours can't. So before you spend your money or your parents' money, or in Landon's case, my money, let me share with you 5 things that you can start doing right now to dial in on what you should actually be doing with your life. Now, before I give you these 5 things, I want to share a story with you. Because everything that I'm about to tell you, I actually did myself. Not on purpose and not because I had some sort of plan. I did these things almost naturally, like by accident. And you know what? The things that I did actually set in motion everything that started and launched the career that I have had for over 20 years. After my first year in college, I was invited to take part in the honors program on campus, and I quickly enlisted. But I lost my appetite for it just as quickly when I realized it was basically a whole lot more work for the same number of credit hours. But during that year that I was in the honors program, I received a letter one day in my campus mailbox. And I opened it, and it said, "As an honors student, you're invited to apply to shadow someone in an exciting career path." And I almost wadded it up and threw it in the trash. But something made me fill out that paper and send it in. They matched me with a creative director at an ad agency in downtown Louisville. So I called the office and made an appointment, and then I drove myself down there. This was before the time of smartphones and everything, so I had to just follow directions. And I get there, and there's this huge, tall building, and I had no idea where to go or where to park. And so I just pulled up into the loading zone. And a security guard came out to me, and he found out I was a college student there to talk to Mark Rosenthal. And I guess he felt sorry for me, so he said, "Hey, there's no need to pay for parking. You can just pull over here in this loading zone and just turn on your flashers on your truck, and I'll keep an eye on it for you." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, just go on in. I'll watch your truck for you." So I thought, this thing's probably going to take 25-30 minutes. I'm going to go ask Mark some questions about his career and what he does day to day, and I'll be out of here in like half an hour. Well, I go in the building and I start walking around talking to Mark Rosenthal, and I was there for over 2 hours. When I came outside, I found that my battery on my truck was deader than 4 o'clock, and I had to get a jump start to get the engine started to get back out of there. But something else happened. See, this agency was notorious for never offering internships to college students. It was all around campus. People had tried, but nobody was able to get an internship there. And Mark offered me one anyway. And I was aghast. I was like, "Mark, I didn't think that Creative Alliance even offered internships for college students." And he said, "Hey, I'm the creative director. And if I want an intern, I get one. And if you want an internship, you can start next week." I ended up interning at that agency for 2 full years, and Mark helped me work on my portfolio that got me into grad school. So that internship from that letter that I almost threw in the trash launched everything for me. Being in the right place at the right time can make all the difference. The difference between you and me is that I did all that stuff by accident. Imagine if you did it deliberately. That's what this is all about. This is not generic career advice. This is how you find your gold thread and not waste one dime on a major that could end up being a serious black thread for you. So here are the 5 things that I told my son, and now I'm telling them to you. Number 1 is get off screens, or at least the wrong screens. Look, your digital device is a tool that can help you find your gold thread and your career path if you use them in the right way. Not for socializing, not for gaming, and not for Snapchat. Start watching videos about a topic that genuinely interests you. If you land on a subject matter and end up binge watching that channel, listen, that's a clue. That could be a strand of your gold thread. Don't skip past it and go back to Snapchat. Lean into that thing. Watch a bunch more of that same subject. Check it out. This phone is your keys to the kingdom. Literally any piece of information ever written is right here at your fingertips. So if you don't know about a specific topic, it's your own fault for not going here and finding it. It's seconds away. In my generation, we had to go to the bookstore and just flip through magazines by topic, or go find a book about a specific topic, or go to the library and research it. Or get this, we had to go to the video store and rent a tape or a DVD to learn about something. You have 0 excuses because you're in the smartphone generation. The total number of screen hours that you're using each week is not the problem. It's how you're using them that is. Learn to use this as a tool. It can be your secret weapon to open doors for you. And that leads me to number 2, is read. Whether on your device or in books, wherever you can find it, read. I know, at your age, you may detest reading, or you may love it. Either way, lean into it, because research shows that deliberately reading about a topic increases your retention of that and dramatically increases your chances of finding more meaningful and relevant information about a topic, often by orders of magnitude compared to passive exposure like scrolling. Number 3 is go get your hands dirty. Now, I'm speaking figuratively here, or maybe I'm not, because you could want to do landscaping or diesel mechanics, or you might want to bake pastries or do pottery, throwing clay on the wheel. That'll get your hands dirty. My son thinks he might want to be a fly fishing guide. So we're going to get his hands dirty by first scheduling a fly fishing excursion with only the best fly fishing guide in the business, so that he can spend the day out on the water with her and see what it's all about. You think you may want to be an interior designer? Volunteer to redesign a friend's bedroom, or do a living room reset for someone you know who wants to sort of change things up. Hey, have you seen those AI room makeover tools? You can move things around virtually and see how they look, and you might see if you have a knack for that. Or you can shadow an interior designer and share your ideas, bounce them off of them to see how they hold up when tested. You think you may be into medicine? See if you can shadow a medical professional. Yeah, you might have to sign a non-disclosure or take a small HIPAA training course before they'll let you do it, but don't think you can't make this thing happen. By asking questions, you'd be shocked at what kind of doors you can open. And that leads me to number 4. Ask a ton of questions. Chances are you're only 2 phone calls away from somebody who would be happy to let you ask them questions about their career. 2 phone calls. Call number 1 is to call someone you know who may know someone, and then call number 2 is to call the person that they knew. Leverage everyone you know. Get a phone call with someone who could be a mentor for you. People love talking about their careers, and they may be thrilled to help someone like you who's hungry and eager to learn. who just had the guts to call them and ask. And if you're lucky, they may even offer you an internship. And that leads me to number 5. Internships are by far one of the highest impact things a student can do, whether in high school or college, to test a career interest, build real-world experience, and dramatically improve future job prospects. And if it's not for you, you'll know right away. And even if you hate every second of it, you will come away with knowledge that you will use elsewhere. But what if you love it? You may have just found your gold thread while building an awesome network, while learning real-world experience, and while getting paid. Unlike my ad agency internship that I didn't get paid a dime to do. Back then, they just called it paying your dues. Today, internships pay $20 to $22 an hour. And studies show that interns start with higher salaries, often earning $2,000 a year in annual salary over their peers who did not do an internship. They are great resume boosters too. Your generation is spoiled, but you're not out of the woods yet, because all 5 of these things still, like my generation, require one thing that has not changed, and that is work. Yes, that means getting off screens or using them in a different way. Use every tool at your disposal. Be a sponge and consume information, but the right information like never before. Learn to be a bloodhound and sniff out every possible trail that could lead to you getting more experience. Leverage everything that you have to expose yourself to experiences that can move the needle for you in your career. It's like I tell my son, I've already sniffed out my trail and I've already put in the work in the years to get where I am. And so now it's your turn. It's just like working out. He wants to get big and strong, but he doesn't really like to work out. But that's too bad, because I can't go in the gym and lift the weights for you. If I lift them, it's only going to benefit me. It's like that now. You have to put in the work for yourself. Now I have the perfect Bible verse to share on this. It's Ecclesiastes 11:6. Listen to this. Sow your seeds in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle. For you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. Isn't that amazing? Let your hands not be idle. I can think of some things that I do with this where my hands are idle, like doom scrolling, but I can think of ways that I could use this in a much more productive way, and you can do the same thing as you're looking for your next career move. So now that you know these 5 things that I've shared with you, I have an assignment for you. Go take my Gold Thread Challenge. The link for it is right below this video. It's 12 questions. It'll take you about 5 minutes, but you will be absolutely blown away at how much more focused it will make you as you start to search for your next career move. It'll tell you what to search for. It'll give you clues as to what to read, and you'll have a much better idea of where to go looking for your next strand of gold thread. And you could read my book, Find Your Gold Thread, which is now available on Amazon in paperback, as well as this really nice hardcover. And on Audible, my audiobook is also available. Hey, I'm pulling for you, but now it's time for you to go and put in the work. And I cannot wait for you to see where it goes.